Hello everyone, Brandon Carey aka New Dark Cloud aka Enigma is here with you once more, and today we are doing something a little different. Once again, something that's not the usual card game fare. I have been playing this game. It is called Hardspace Shipbreaker, and I wanted to kind of show it off a little bit on stream, to kind of like talk about it a little bit, because I have found this a very interesting game that the longer I play it, the more I want to keep playing it. The premise is pretty simple. You are an employee of this space company, and your job is to break down derelict spaceships to salvage and sell for parts. You're a salvage company. You're a salvage employee, more or less. Good morning, Cutter 9346-52. And there is something oddly compelling about the process of just breaking down a spaceship. All my gear is repaired. And as of right now, I have just leveled up enough in my employee rank where I am now learning how to break down class 2 reactors. So we're gonna get trained on how to do that.
Alright, Cutter. Time to extract your first Class 2 reactor. This one's not quite as simple. Just pull it and barge it, right? Pretty straightforward. Well, I'm sure head office would rather the reactor was in one piece. Pulling this beast without proper prep is a sure way to print yourself a receipt for a new spare. Sure, prep. But you're on the clock, don't forget. As I was saying, like any reactor, it'll melt down as soon as it's disconnected from its housing. And these Class 2s will melt down mighty quick unless you do two things first. First, release the connection to the thrusters. Second, remove the coolant from the ship's Environmental Control Unit, or ECU. Or just cut a hole, pull it, and barge it. Just make sure you clear an extraction route before doing anything, Cutter. Soon as you release the thrusters and mess with the ECU coolant, that reactor will enter a controlled meltdown. Oh, and if you're having trouble finding everything, try using the systems mode of your scanner.
Let's depressurize this atmosphere.
Air pressure level decreasing.
Which will let us let's give us some freedom to play around. Because if we open a hole while this place is decompressed, we're gonna go flying because of the air. And as the helpful voice between the two of them said, Weaver, first order of business is to clear a path for the reactor. We really don't want to do anything to that reactor until we are certain that we can very quickly and easily release it from its housing and into the barge below where it can be collected for salvage. So what I am doing is taking these cut points and using them, because these are basically worthless. You can't salvage these. So by cutting them and severing the connections, you release the walls so that they can be picked up and salvaged. And that they're not worth a whole lot to salvage, but more importantly, they get the walls out of your way. You can focus on more important tasks.
Processing object. Applying credits to account.
Can that link just... Yeah, that link can just be severed. So let's sever this link entirely. And then move this down to the barge for it to be collected. You'll see, like, the HUD will tell you where you need to actually salvage it. But if you play enough, you'll just have it memorized. There's one on the other side of this too, so we're going to salvage this as well. Just so that we don't accidentally throw it into the wrong container, because the walls go to the processor, the blue one, not the barge. And that's the environmental control unit. We'll worry about that some other time.
Applying credits.
For now, what I really want to do is just remove the housing for the reactor, so that when it comes time to move it, there will be a straight shot between the reactor and the barge. Because we're in training, I'm in no rush for time. But normally you have 15 minutes per shift to get as much done as possible. And you can take multiple shifts, but the game does, like, because your character has incurred a debt from taking this job, and any, like, wasted shifts are not contributing towards your debt. So you don't want that. My grapple gun. We're going to move that. Tether. Just lift that straight over. Once you bump that away. You're also... You know what? We'll just use this one over here. We'll throw you into that processor. Let's...
Deposit accepted for processing.
Oh, we destroyed a structure. That really is not enough credits to even worth acknowledging. So that's fine. We've got to also release the thruster cap, so that we can release the thrusters. Actually, let's not use one of the tethers. Let's just punt it into the salvage area for processing. This floor wraps around, so we're actually going to punt it downward a little bit. Punt it downwards. And then, once it's far enough, then we'll tether it to the processor for pickup. And that way it'll go just nice and easy. Nice and easy. Now, you're probably thinking that this game seems pretty boring. And I thought that too at first. But if I'm being honest, there's something really fun about just breaking down a spaceship and splitting up into its core components. Something really oddly fun about that act. That very simple act. We're gonna get the cover off.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Perfect. Oh yeah, we lost some... Oh no, some minor salvage. Not a big deal. We're gonna use this switch to remove the thruster, which we'll just throw into the barge. We'll see once it's the barge, we will collect it. And that's a nice
Salvage
chunk of
secured.
profits.
Credits deposited.
Let's cut this last piece of the hull open. This airlock is still compressed, right? Yeah, so when we open it, it's going to cause an explosive decompression. Because the outside air is not compressed. Because it's in deep space. So we're going to release this, and you will see... Oh, shit! Okay. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. That was a little precarious. You don't want to throw yourself into the furnace. That is a bad call. That is a bad call. But thankfully, there should be no other sources of decompression in the area. So we should be fine. Release the top. And that will go to processing, because that is a blue source, and that airlock will come free. We're gonna just punt it a little bit.
Object accepted for processing.
Oh, we didn't get the console. That actually is a nice chunk of money that we just lost, but that's fine. Throw this down, and that will get processed as well for a nice chunk of change. Now, this is actually shielding for the reactor, so we'll pull that off. We'll pull... That somehow did not get fully pulled. Let's focus on getting the shielding off. At least partway the shielding off. You want to get
Valuable object processed.
nice and
Credits
open.
deposited.
The reactor is safe until we detach it. But if we detach it now, it'll just blow up. So we won't want to do that. We really don't. So... that should be enough.
Object processed.
There's one more planet. We'll just get rid of this panel. And as the useful voice in our head said, Weaver, we have to come in here to this ECU unit. There's no button to push. So what we can do is just forcefully
Material accepted.
detach the coolants. Thank you for following, Soul. And that will cause the reactor to start to melt down, but since it's melting down in a safe manner, we actually have plenty of time to tether it off its hook
Great work, Cutter. Handling both the
and
thrusters
down
and
into the barge.
Giving you a nice, long... Well, I'll be.
And
Well
now...
done, Cutter. You continue to impress. Now we just gotta work on improving the time. All right. We're
Don't worry
done
if you
with
lurk or
that.
not, that's fine.
We'll
Lurking
leave
is perfectly
you
fine.
now. Great work today, Cutter. Weaver out.
And now that we have taken out the reactor, safely I might add,
Valuable object. Credits
this
awarded.
mission is now starting in earnest, which means we're now consuming fuel. We are now consuming oxygen,
Salvage secured.
because this is now an actual
Credit
mission.
applied.
Let's tether you into processing. But this is an oddly compelling gameplay loop. There is something genuinely joyous about the act of salvaging parts like this. This is a very pleasant thing to do.
Processing valuable deposit. Credits transferred.
Very pleasant.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account.
I can't think of a way to remove this console without cutting through the wall. So I think we're just gonna have to make the cut.
Salvage
Gonna
deposit
cause
registered.
a little annoyance, but
credited.
thankfully the walls typically aren't worth too much money compared to some of the parts inside the ship. Which
Salvage
means it's
secured.
really not a big
Credit
deal if we
deposited.
lose some of that profit. It's gonna cut. Let me just try to align myself better. Yeah, that looks more level. I'm just gonna make some cuts to cut a path through. Align myself better. We lost some money, but that's really not a big deal. We can grapple all of this. This goes to the furnace. This goes to the furnace.
Deposit accepted.
This goes to processing.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
And that should be a big enough opening to detach the ECU.
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
What is it attached? Okay, it's attached to this pipe. We need to make one more cut. There we go. Well, that's not really enough credits to worry about. Try to level myself again. And once you start cutting,
Raw material deposited.
it's really easy to get into a groove, get into a flow state with this game. And that's kind of weird considering the game is not really about flow state. But it definitely fits. This is all processor stuff. Oh, that's
Salvage
this
accepted. Credit
part
applied.
goes into the furnace, which means it's probably actually better just to cut this piece off with the cutter. My thruster is 75, so that's damage, but that's really not damaged. And now we can just grapple this whole piece. Actually, no, not grapple. We'll tether this whole piece. And this is still attached. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to see. You're doing pretty well currently. Now, first thing I gotta do with these pipes here is flush them out so there's no fuel going to those pipes. And that way we can start cutting safely. Because if there's fuel going to the pipes, and you hit the pipes with the cutter, you know, fire. Not good. Because there is no longer any fuel coming to these pipes, we can cut their connections safely. And that will allow us to release these little side compartments filled with fuel that normally would be filled with fuel, and just drop them down into the barge below and get some extra salvage money out of it.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
We have 3 more such compartments to do. So let us salvage. If this game is about anything, it is a celebration of the joy of manual labor. Because the job can be fun. Like, these kinds of jobs can actually be genuinely pretty fun. The problem is that, as this game's story kind of like unfolds, shitty companies and shitty bosses can make even fun jobs tedious and terrible. Because of the system that we exist in. Like, this is a world in which there are hushed tone conversations about these forces called unions that used to protect workers' rights hundreds of years ago. This game knows its audience. And I find it very fascinating. I need to restock on my oxygen soon. Release this from the barge.
Tether supplies dropping.
Well, we can restock on tethers and oxygen at the company store. Over here at the kiosk.
Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
So let's go over here to company store and replenish our oxygen and our tethers. Because we only have 5 tethers left. Our suit's actually in pretty good condition. Our suit's in pretty good condition. And that's our health. We haven't really been hurt yet.
Warning. Oxygen reserves low.
Store oxygen and
Regular gentle
tethers.
exercise to increase blood oxygen levels.
Oh, it looks like this tank is still pressurized. Show me the pressurization. Yeah, this is still a pressurized section of the ship. I'll be careful in cutting this open. Oh, I can just release these stripping crates and just drop them. I've done that before getting more tethers, but, you know, wasn't thinking about it. That was suboptimal play on my part. But, thankfully, it's not really a game where you need to be optimal, you just need to be decent.
Salvage secured.
Salvaging these crates. Alright, and now... I can't separate that yet. I have to cut all the connections. I have to do so carefully, because if I put the tank in the way of my torch, that is not good or healthy.
You're looking at roughly 5 minutes left in this shift. Keep on at it.
We might not finish it in this shift, but we thankfully still have other shifts. And now that's a bad angle. Better angle. Yes. And gotta be careful with the angle here. This is a decent angle. Yes, okay, we're good. As long as we are above the tank, this should be safe. Once we sever the connection, it'll be much easier and safer to break the tank loose of its moorings. Still have a few minutes left in the shift. This should be safe if we stay sufficiently underneath the tank. Okay. And 2. Okay, good. 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 This is a pretty safe thing to remove. And that should separate the gas tank, or the fuel tank, from its moorings. So I can now detach it. And I gotta negotiate this. Or we could just pull the entire building apart with it. That actually is not a bad idea. To move that whole piece. Because that will give us a route to pull the tank out with. Once we can pull the tank out, the rest of this section of the ship is relatively easy to salvage. This is all furnace. So we can just throw this whole piece into the furnace. And I'll put a second tether to make this go faster.
Salvage deposit confirmed.
And this whole
Applying
piece is a processor part, as is the fuel line here, but we're going to... Oh, we missed a thing in that. Okay, we're going to try to detach this from the pipes. So I don't want to move this part of the ship yet. We haven't actually finished with that part. We are going to tether this piece and move it in to the processing unit. So far, so good. Looks like this unit is pressurized. So once we sever it from the... Oh, shit. No, no, no,
This is
no.
your 1-minute warning, Cutter. Don't be a hero, alright?
Okay. Do a little bit of asset momentum so that we can... We have plenty of oxygen, so we can just finish out whatever we're doing here. Let's just cut open the top. Which will release this section and make getting to the sweet, juicy parts within a lot easier on us. So let's... This is a pure furnace piece. So this can go right in there. And then shift's over, but thankfully there's enough salvage left on this vessel to make a second shift worthwhile. So let's end the shift. Lucky us.
Good morning, Cutter 9346-52. Today's weather report, clear and sunny, with a high of minus 270 degrees.
Yes, so currently, in the story of this game, the company has found out that some of the employees are trying to unionize. And so they have sent a union-busting middle manager to try to come in and fire the people who are unionizing. That is the actual plot of the story so far. The big issue being the fact that all the employees owe over $1 billion in debt. And one of the people who is trying to unionize is actually one of your coworkers, who is one of the most useful people in the entire game. Well, you owe billions of dollars because of the price of shipping you out to outer space, giving you food, giving you housing, giving you oxygen, giving you tools. Oh no, we're the shipbreaker. We are playing as the worker who is breaking down the ships. You're not the manager. The manager is some other dude that came into the story as recently. He's like one of the antagonists. He's probably being an antagonist. He's kind of a fucking asshole, as most middle managers are. But our role in the story is just a humble worker. We are a humble person who takes spaceships and breaks them down into component parts to sell. That is our entire job. Is we break down spaceships and sell them. Like you were seeing there, that is who we are. We are a shipbreaker. Tools are in good condition. We have enough credits for some upgrades. I'm gonna upgrade my grapple's max weight. And we can upgrade the push force later. But because one of our employees is trying to unionize, a middle manager is cracking down on us, but that's okay. We're going to ignore him, because he's an asshole. We're going to finish... There's still a couple million credits worth of salvage on this vessel. So we're going to keep chipping away at it. We can always choose to put a new vessel out, but... you get more bonus points for completely salvaging a vessel. So it's worth keeping at the same vessel as long as there is enough salvage left to justify the shift. So that you can get more mastery of it and more credit towards your rank, towards your debt, and towards these links tokens which we can use to spend towards upgrading our tools.
Raw material accepted.
Folks, efficiency is a measure of discipline. Productivity is a measure of skill. Output is a measure of drive. Discipline, drive, skill, effort, ambition.
I present to you the asshole middle manager no one wants to listen to.
Integrity, positivity.
You have 100% in your life heard a manager make this useless speech.
I hope what I'm saying is clear. Rose out.
You have 100% in some point in your life heard a manager make that worthless speech.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account.
Let's take out the valuables from this section that we cut off earlier. This is the same ship we were salvaging before, we're just finishing the job.
Credits transferred.
Is there anything in here? Yeah, there's still stuff in here we're salvaging. Take these computers out as well.
Transferring credits.
There's a poster there too.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
No, not to Earth. There's a barge underneath me that anything that can be resold is being collected into so that the company can resell it for a profit. And anything that can be resold goes in there. Scrap metal goes in here, and anything else that is otherwise like not particularly valuable goes into that furnace to be burned and melted down for scrap. So this is valuable metal that can be processed. It'll go to the processor. And that leaves...
Processing object.
Oh, we left the
Applying
light
credit
in
to
there.
account.
Oh, well. It's hard. I understand completely, my friend. This is the topic that games want to talk about, and rightfully so. Oh, we can take this antenna off. But if there is any message this game really has, it's that there is something that's simple and joyous about the act of
Salvage deposit registered.
doing manual
Account
labor.
credited.
Airlock depressurizing.
Because the actual labor here, the actual work, the gameplay, is super fun. Depressurize this airlock too, and should be good. Oh no, there's still some pressurized compartments in this area. So we're gonna have to be a little careful with how we approach this. I don't see the structural points. I'm just gonna have to cut my way into the internals of this area. Surely it's not that barbaric. Surely there's a way to cleanly get through. I'm just gonna have to cut my way through. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that's disappointing. I enjoy the clean breaking down of these ships. I think we might as well start by taking out the door components to sell.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Yeah, this is actually like it is a ton of fun to like
Secured.
get in the
Applying
groove and find like your strategy for breaking down a ship into its core components. And when you've mastered it, once you've like started getting your groove down, oh, it's so satisfying.
credit. Salvage accepted.
It's so
Credit
satisfying.
applied.
This is probably the like most pro labor game I've ever played. And I mean that with all sincerity.
Salvage deposit secured. Credits
I
awarded.
don't really want to cut open this door. It's a beautiful door. But, okay, once I do, I will be depressurized. But we have a wall behind us, so it should be fine. There we go. Those are my beautiful components. Those are my beautiful components. Get processed. Oh. Delicious. Finally, some good fucking food.
Credit awarded.
Now I'll get these out in whole chunks, aside from that one door I had to cut open. Are these two airlocks? Welded together? That's cool. I haven't seen that before. Let's separate let's burn away the welds, keeping these things attached. This feels good. This feels so good. Running a little low on oxygen, but not low enough that I'm particularly concerned. Okay, now this should start releasing some of the parts. Alright, excellent.
Fuel levels are low.
Alright. I hear ya. Should replenish some oxygen and fuel while we're here. Hopefully there shouldn't be a whole lot left to do on this ship, so we should be able to finish in the time we have left. Despite only having 6 minutes. And we need to go to a third shift. We have enough salvage left to justify it. Really rather keep this on 2 shifts, though.
Welcome to Ventatron 9000.
Oxygen levels
Rustling.
stabilizing.
Perfect. Alright. So this is furnace. And the pipes are processor. Well, I don't really need the pipes that much anyway. I'm just gonna throw this whole thing in the furnace. Oh, I see. Oh, this is all processor. Oh no, break that tether immediately. What is still keeping this airlock secure? Did I miss? Oh, I missed the coupling. Awesome. Now I can move you. Yeah, you airlock, you are too valuable. I cannot allow you to just go away like that.
5 minutes left, Cutter. How you use them?
Go down.
Entirely up to you. We were out.
You also. Go down.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
You can get processed. I'm gonna lose a little bit of you. Because some of you are supposed to get furnaced away. But I think I'm okay with just throwing all of you in the processor. Not losing that much money.
Salvage
Doing
deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
And these airlocks are worth a pretty penny. So we're gonna try to get these airlocks out. At the very least.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Let's see. Process that. And process that.
Valuable object
You go
processed.
down to the
Credits
barge.
deposited.
And you can also get processed.
Salvage registered. Transferring
Couple,
credits.
looks like one more airlock. And you'll get a rank 4 salvage of this area. Need you to get processed. You are going straight down to that barge, baby.
Tether supply.
Processor deposit accepted. Credits awarded. Salvage goal cleared. Rewards allocated.
Switch to the cutter. Let's get this last section of plating off. Okay, I see. You're almost done the salvage.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Hold on, you are not going anywhere just yet.
Alright, Cutter, wrap it up. You got about a minute left.
We gotta take some of these computers out.
Salvage accepted. Credits applied.
This should cover the rest
Account credited.
of that rank 5 salvage.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
Oh, fuck.
Salvage
Son of a bitch! If we had one more minute, we would have gotten that rank 5. We might actually... I'm gonna still go in and get that rank 5. Even if it costs me a little bit of debt.
Certification level awarded. License upgraded.
Because it's worth getting that extra amount of upgrade points.
Hello, Shipbreaker. Please enjoy this inspirational message. The last 10% of a job takes as much energy as the first 90%, which is why it's so important to always give 110%.
Excellent.
Listen up, guys. I got something you'll all like.
I somehow doubt that.
Oh, are you leaving already?
I went ahead and got you all clearance to use something that'll make you 10 times more efficient. Easy. 20 times. You ready? Demolition charges. Spark free. These'll cut through damn near anything.
Wait. Spark free demo charges?
That sounds pretty cool, Mr. Rhodes. Thank you.
No way. Not a chance. Damn things aren't new. Hell, I've been vaporized by those stupid things plenty of times.
Curazon, you're...
Spark free. Things spark so much you could put one on a birthday cake.
Curazon! That's it! Come on now, Hal. I'm revoking your privileges for external communications.
You... what?
Yeah. No comms outside the station network. No more calls to Mars.
Asshole manager.
All of you need to understand something. I represent the company, and you show me respect. Got it? Hal, let's you and I sit down and talk about this. That's all for now. Best get to work.
What an asshole. Although, I think what we're going to do right now is just finish out the current salvage. Because if we move on to the ship, that ship we are currently salvaging is going to go away. There's so little left to salvage.
Doing okay, Kai?
Oh, yeah. Thinking, I guess.
I should probably...
Looking at Earth. Hard to imagine how much life used to live on it.
Can't fixate on the past, kid.
Yeah. You know, if my life had been different, I wouldn't be up here. I'd be working with animals. Well, nature in general. Maybe an ecologist or biologist. I'm not sure what they do, but I think I'd like it. Just imagine what Earth must have been like a couple hundred years ago. Full of life.
Animal husbandry ain't quite the same, but it might scratch that itch. Something to consider at least when you finish here.
Yeah. Thanks, Dee Dee. I'll keep that in mind when I finish.
Let's get these last couple of parts in for a few extra bucks. Oh well. Let's get this ladder to the barge. Make a quick inspection for any valuable components, like this power cell.
Salvage deposited.
And that power cell. Well, at least we're not going to be... We're going to still go, like, debt neutral at the very least. This salvage. Which means it's still worth it in the end.
Account credit applied.
Anything else in here worth... Yes. We have 12 minutes, so we might as well be thorough with this little hunk of scrap we have left.
Credits deposited.
Alright, I think I am satisfied with the condition I have left this piece in, which means it is now time to throw it into the furnace and finish the job. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Material accepted. Credits transferred.
And that is the entire ship. You saw us break it down in 3 easy shifts. Man, that feels good. Always feels good to see the bar go all the way. It means you dealt with every last scrap of salvage. Now there's nothing left for this ship. We are free to head back home and enjoy an early end to tonight's shift. We still have enough to make a positive dent in the debt. So that's good. And I think that's actually a good place to wrap up.
Hello, Shipbreaker. You have 1 incoming transmission waiting.
Hey, folks. This is a private channel. Dee Dee, you alright?
No, I'm not. Taking away my comm privileges? Family's probably worried as hell about me now.
I'm working on that, Dee Dee. I'll get your comms back.
Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Is he actually allowed to do that?
He is. Didn't think he would. But he is.
Does he outrank you?
It's complicated, Lou.
Still think he'll be gone in a week, Dee Dee?
If he isn't, I'm gonna float over there and kick him straight out of the airlock.
Nice. If I get my hands on him, ooh.
All right, hold up now. Let's not get all fire and brimstone.
It's a fair solution.
We'll sort this out. Now, why don't we all just call it a day? Get some shut-eye, and we'll hit this up tomorrow, all right? Weaver out.
It's a fair solution to the problem. That's all I'm saying.
Hello, Shipbreaker. This is your morning wake-up call.
And with that, we are good to call it a day. As always, remember to take care, wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, get your vaccines and your booster shots. Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, stop Asian hate, and all lives cannot matter until minority lives matter. Have an excellent evening, folks. I will see you on Sunday with more Sly Cooper. Bye!